Okay, it's time for the review. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel once again. If you're finding me for the very first time, be sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button. Today I'm going to review Titans Episode 4, Doom Patrol. Now this was one of the episodes that I was really looking forward to, because when they announced that they were going to be doing the Doom Patrol series on the DC streaming service, I was really interested on who these characters are. Full disclosure, guys, I don't know much about Doom Patrol. I really didn't read the comics, so I'm not really familiar with that. That's why I was so interested in this episode. When I knew they were going to be featured in Titans and then spin off into their own series, I wanted to see what that was about. I wanted to see who these characters were. I know a lot of people really compare them to the X-Men, and I can see that sort of, like with the mansion and so on, and then the doctor at the end being in a wheelchair and all that stuff, fine. But I honestly don't know how well this show stayed true to the character's origins in this episode, because I'm not too familiar with it, so I can only judge on this episode. I didn't hate this episode like a lot of the previous episodes. There was a lot of stuff in the previous episode that I really disliked. In this episode, I really didn't dislike hardly anything. There wasn't like no outrageous profanity just for the sake of profanity. I mean, there was this one scene where, you know, Dick Grayson kind of goes ham on this guy in front of his child, and even that, I think I should, like, why is Robin so pissed off? I want to know. Like, why is Robin so pissed off? Something had to happen. And I know we still got, what, like 6 episodes left of this season. They're probably going to touch on that. So other than that, nothing in this episode really bothered me. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that I didn't know much about Doom Patrol. Now, if I probably would have known about who Doom Patrol is and what their origin is, I'm pretty sure something in here would have like really pissed me off. But as it stands as an episode, this episode was pretty fine for me. It didn't bother me. It wasn't great. It wasn't horrible. Out of the 4 episodes that I've seen so far, the second episode is still my favorite, because I have a special soft spot in my heart for Dove. God, I hope she makes it out alive. But other than that, I thought this episode was fine. I actually liked the interaction with the Doom Patrol and Beast Boy and Raven. And we have Brandon Fraser coming in playing one of the characters. So there's a lot to like in this episode. Probably, especially if you are a fan of both Doom Patrol and Titans, of course, because you're watching the show because you're a fan of Titans. The one thing I did like, I'm going to say this, I liked something in this show that doesn't involve Dove. I like the fact that the Titans get together at the end. Like, all the Titans are together minus Cyborg, because for some reason we can't have Cyborg in this series. Probably because he's in the movies, but whatever. Like, he's probably never even going to be in another DCEU movie, especially the way they're going. But I like the fact that the core Titans are together at the end. Like, Titans assemble minus Cyborg. But I hope this, like, my thing for this show, what I wanted to see from this series, we're not really getting it. And I wanted, like, I understand you want to do exploitation of these characters and you want to spend more time on these characters and get us to know who these characters are. But I really want to see them, like, go against Slade. And I want to see, you know, the conflict between Titans and Deathstroke. That's kind of what I wanted. And they're really doing like this slow burn on who are these characters, what are these backstories. And I understand you have to do that, but the problem is this is not a network TV show. You're not just, people aren't just stumbling upon Titans on like the CW and you gotta give us all these backstories on these characters because they've never seen it before. People that signed up for DC streaming service to watch this show know who the Titans are. Know who these characters are. So you don't really have to go in so much explanation on these characters and their backstory, because the people that signed up for the DC streaming service are DC fans. So I think that's the problem. Like with network TV, you kind of have to do that because you have so many people tuning in that aren't familiar with the source material. But when you have a DC streaming service, they're signing up for your DC streaming service because they're DC fans. So you could have really focused more on the rest of the story rather than the backstory. Other than that, I'm not going to complain. This episode was actually pretty solid. I found it really humorous in a lot of points. And I think it was overall a solid episode. Not great, not horseshit, just solid episode. Episode 2, still my favorite. But I want to know what you guys think. How'd you feel about episode 4, Doom Patrol? Be sure to leave your comments in the comment box below. And until next time, as always, I'm Robert Storms, and that's my opinion.